Space, the boundary of human achievement, the new frontier.
It's just a cough.
Yeah, right. And the Earth is flat.
Treat your cough seriously with Robitussin CF Max. Nothing lasts longer and treats more symptoms for your cough, cold, and flu. Robitussin, because it's never just a cough.
In a few moments, you will have an experience which will seem completely real. It will be the result of your subconscious fears transformed to your conscious awareness. Warning, this tape must not be played by government personnel. It can be extremely harmful and result in severe trauma. You have 5 seconds to terminate this tape. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's good to see you. I must go. I know I must go.
Hold him. Now you listen to me, you hillbilly punk who thinks the world's still round. I'm here to tell you it's not. It's flat.
Lexi, tell us something interesting.
Okay, the Earth is flat, and a witch stole his pants.
Flat Earth expert Mark Sargent thinks the moon landing was a hoax.
Technically, the moon itself is a hoax.
Right, but betting with Sportsbet's new iPhone app?
I could do this standing on my head.
Thanks, Gravity. Sportsbet's new iPhone app. It's foolproof.
I know how we're different. Do you believe the Earth is flat?
I know it's flat. I walk on it.
Holy sh**.
Do you think the Earth is flat, Snoop? What do you think?
It's a flat world after all.
Smoke weed every day.
Und jetzt der Verkehr. Vorsicht, liebe Autofahrer, auf der A3 Oberhausen Richtung Arnheim ist die linke Spur aufgrund eines UFO-Absturzes gesperrt.
Broadcasting straight to you from a large spaceship currently at war with mainstream science. Meanwhile, the Peanut Gallery is taking a break from writing an intro and has decided to let AI write the intro for him. So here it is. Hey, AI, write a funny intro to Mark Sargent's Strange World. Hold on to your tinfoil hats and get ready to enter the mind-boggling world of Mark Sargent. This is a world where the Earth is flat, NASA is lying to us, and aliens might be living among us as our neighbors. If you thought the movie Inception was mind-bending, you haven't seen anything yet. Mark's Strange World will make your head spin faster than the conspiracy theorist on a caffeine high. From the moon landing hoax to lizard people, Mark has a theory for everything. But don't worry, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand his ideas, although it might help. In fact, you just might end up laughing so hard you forget that you're questioning everything you've ever learned in school. So fasten your seatbelts and get ready for a wild ride into the strange and hilarious world of Mark Sargent. Just remember, once you enter his world, you may never see the world the same way again. But hey, you know what? The computer did.
And
I know, right?
Writer's strike might last a while.
Yep, it might. We're going to talk about that too. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Strange World, where the truth is often stranger in fiction. I'm your host, Mark Sargent, creator of Flat Earth Clues, which propose that all of us are living inside a Truman Show in close structure, thousands of miles wide. Just Google Flat Earth Clues. If you can't find it, well, you're just not very good at the internet. And you know what? You're right, because today I got an email from Rosina, and she says, "Hey Mark, turns out I'm not very good at the internet because I can't find your Flat Earth Clues on YouTube. I'm subscribed to your channel on YouTube. I've watched the clues on there previously. However, I can't find them now. I have someone who wants to find out more about the Flat Earth and thought your clues would be great. Can you send me a link to them, please? Cheers, Rosie from London, longtime listener, still never called in, but thanks to you and Karen B for Strange World." So as of today, I am changing that line. I am changing it to, so just Google Flat Earth Mark. There you go. Just changed it. And it's now permanent. So moving forward, it's not going to be a Mandelta effect. It's going to say Flat Earth Mark. Okay. If you can't find it, you're just not very good at the internet. Currently, the show is on Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. And yes, Caroline, if it's not May 9th, 2023, it's weird. That date means something to me. I don't know what yet, though. Quote of the day, then you're listening to a rerun. Quote of the day goes exactly like this one thing: I would rather have questions that can't be answered than answers that can't be questioned. Who said that? Richard Feynman. My co-host, she's lovely and she's sassy and she's one of the biggest. Wait, what does it say here? Oh, sing birthday song to Karen B because it's her birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Karen B. It's her birthday, so you better call in and say happy birthday to her. Everybody really should do that. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, that was great. Thank you, Mark.
Very welcome. Hey, Karen, being current birthday queen of Flat Earth, it must be hard. I'm not going to let this go. To find Flat Earth friends. Do you know an easy way to find cool people like yourself and solid info about our stationary horizontal level plane birthday?
Why, yes, that would be the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app.
Sure enough, it's the perfect gift for friends, family, and complete strangers. Mention Karen B on your phone call, and you might even get it for free. Maybe, probably not, though. It's David Weiss. Watch a feature video every day for 2 weeks and see what happens. It'll be the best 299 you've ever spent. Don't forget, you can also find this program on BitChute and Brighteon, Rockfin, and Rumble. YouTube is not the end of Flat Earth. It's not. It's just the beginning. Shout outs, obviously, to Flat Earther Stephen Carpenter of the Deftones. Support the Flat Earth cause and get the coolest hoodies ever. Go to the strong.family, won't you? Pick up some merch. Meetups. Wow, we got a few still. I had to delete a bunch this morning that already happened this last weekend. There's more coming up. First one will be with Brian Stavely down. Where is that damn thing? California, May 13th, this weekend. Brian Stavely down in Los Angeles at the Oompa Loompa. At the what?
At Huntington Beach.
Really? That's not what I have. I have the Oompa Loompa Event Center downtown.
Okay.
Or it could be Huntington Beach. One of the two. He's probably home going, I'm going to kill everyone. This is how revenge killing starts. Also, let's see, UK May 30th with virtual Dave Weiss, not AI David Weiss, virtual Dave Weiss. So if you're in UK, you're going to go to your thing and David will come in through the magic of technology and answer your questions live. So that'll be kind of fun. June 11th, I believe. Confirm that with Ted. Ted and I are going to be doing a Broadway drag spectacular in Seattle. Maybe. I don't know. His emails are so confusing because I have to look through all the hearts and rainbows and stuff. The is it June 11th, Karen? Pretty sure.
Yes, it's June 11th.
June 11th, it'll be in Seattle. I will make the promo for that this coming weekend. That'll be a lot of fun. And then it is absolutely confirmed. I put the promo up. I will be I've already got my flights booked. I am going to be in Los Angeles June 24th with Renee and crew. They're bringing me down again because they're gluttons for punishment, and I'm going to be spending 3 or 4 days down there. I'm going to be spending an extra day down there in case anyone wants to spend time with me. Hint, nudge, wink. And so I'm coming in on Thursday and then leaving on Sunday. And the meetup is on
You're going to see Steph, right?
Possibly. I'm hoping. I'm watching me like, it's
he
like,
told
dude, I'm
me
totally
in a
booked that
text-
day. What?
He said in a text that he was going to see you whenever you're down here next time, or
Oh, cool.
down there.
Down there. Yeah, cool. Wonderful. And so, yeah, Stefan, if you're listening, I will be down there. We'll have to make arrangements before then. But
Yes.
I'll be flying in Thursday night and leaving
Get a picture.
Sunday morning. I know. You know me. I don't really do pictures because, well, mostly because, again, the camera hates me because I'm 164th vampire on my mother's side. Seriously. Well, you've seen what happens, right? You know, if my skin gets a certain hue to it, all of a sudden the green screen, all of a sudden I get keyed out. And it's only my eyes and my teeth. You've seen it.
Yeah.
Thanks for that endorsement, Karen. Okay. Do we have anything else before we get to headlines? I don't think so. Let's do the headlines. All right. The show is called What Could Go Wrong? ? And that is because even though Western media has not covered it, the United States, NATO, the United States, they're trying to kick off some sort of big time war in either the European theater or the Pacific theater. And so what they do this time, let's click on the first link, shall we? Well, they sent 2 drones straight into the Kremlin. What a great idea. For those of you who don't know geography, the Kremlin is their version of the White House. So if a couple drones actually hit the White House, it'd be pretty bad over here. We'd just go freaking ape. So yeah, Ukrainian drone. Of course it's Ukrainian. Attacks on Moscow, Kremlin caught on camera. Well, yeah, because the Kremlin's got cameras all over the place. And whatever weapon was on it either didn't go off, or maybe it did, or was low yield, or whatever it was, but the Kremlin was not destroyed. I thought that was interesting. But let's get into the response. Next one down. Immediately, the Russia ambassador says, U.S. lacks guts to condemn drone attack on Kremlin. Basically saying, don't you dare pretend. It's like, that's a terrible thing that happened to the Kremlin, says the U.S. Yeah, don't you even think about it. Yeah, which we didn't, of course, because we were quietly just staring at our feet, going, doo, 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 doo. Next one down. Almost immediately afterwards is also from RT, also known as Russia Today. Washington, basically U.S. responsible for attack on Kremlin, says Moscow. Ukraine's actions are coordinated and approved by the U.S., Putin's spokesman has claimed. Of course, it has nothing to do with Ukraine. It was our pilots, it's our equipment, it's our weapon systems. And the bigger question is how'd they get in there? You know, Moscow is quite a ways away from the Ukrainian border. So Brian and I were talking about this Master Gunner before the show, and pretty safe bet that they unfolded this thing somewhere inside Russian territory. Some ninjas did at a private air, because you don't need a big air strip to get this thing off the ground. And the only question was, what was it? I don't think it was a full-blown Reaper, but could have been something else. So yeah, there you go. We're trying, but they didn't do anything, which is why there's no news on our side. Let's get into it. You'd think that if you hit the Kremlin with a couple things, Russia might be, the Russian bear actually might take a couple swipes at you. No, not really. Next one down. This is from CNN. How the Kremlin drone attack hands Russia an opportunity. We're practically begging them to do it. So if you scroll down to below the second picture, would Russia carry out the attack itself? In 1999, just months before Putin was elected president, Russia was hit with a wave of apartment bombings that killed more than 300 people, and blah, blah, blah. And they say, oh, no, Russia probably did it to themselves. Yeah, I'm sure it had. Whatever. Next one down. We're just going to rip through these because they're all basically the same story. Next one, I think, is also CNN. Here we go. U.S. rejects Russia's ludicrous claim it was behind alleged attack on Kremlin as Moscow warns of open armed conflict. And there's a nice little still shot of the Kremlin getting hit with a nice, tidy little fireball. Yeah. So I again, and I may talk about this depending on how the calls go. I've got an idea myself. The think tanks are trying to come up with stuff. We've blown up their ships, some factories, a pipeline, some rail yards, some bridges, stuff like that. Throw in the Kremlin for good measure. If this isn't working, you're gonna have to come up with a different tactic, guys. I know you're listening to the show. You're gonna have to come up with something. I've got an idea that actually might work. Giving it some thought while I was mowing the lawn today. I came up with an idea that might just kick off World War III as I was casually mowing the lawn. This is my life. All right. Anyway, so yeah, Russia is, the United States, says, how dare you blame us for the attack? It's like, well, of course we're going to blame you. We know you want Ukraine and you want us to engage. Oh, God. All right. Next one down. This is from back. We're going to go back over to RT.com. Hey, look at that. Russia and U.S. on the verge of open armed conflict, says Moscow. It is time for Washington to think about its own safety, says Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Rybakov. Whatever. It's Russian. There's a lot of consonants and V's in it. So, yeah. We're Russia's not kidding, by the way. Eventually, there's only so much you can do, but at this stage, you're going to have to do more than that. And if you do too much, Europe's not going to be with you because you hit Russia too many times with too many different things. Your allies are going to be like, "What do you think they were going to do?" You've been hitting them with all sorts of different ordnance. All right, next one down. Meanwhile, China reacts to drone raid on Kremlin. Beijing urged avoiding steps that could cause more escalation in the wake of Russia's claim that Ukraine tried to kill President Putin, meaning U.S. tried to kill Putin. Can you imagine that? China stepping in, it's like, hey, let's not go nuts here. Let's not go off half-cocked. It's like, China, you can't even begin to start saying that. You know what we're going to eventually end up doing over in Taiwan to get you to do your thing. What tune are you going to be singing then? So for you to be, but also, by the way, that's also very telling because if China's saying this now, that also means that, oh crap, we could probably start sinking ships in the Chinese, the China Sea, and they might not do anything. Worst reset ever. All right, next one down. Get a few more before lucky unlucky, which is, meanwhile, since all this stuff is going on, I believe this is the Russian oil facility.
That's what it says.
Yeah, fire erupts at another Russian oil facility. Yeah. Ninjas blowing up stuff. Remember what I said months and months ago, kids? When something catches fire or blows up for no apparent reason, ninjas. So the Kremlin didn't work, so we just decided to blow up an oil facility just for the heck of it. And they respond with, right below that, all of a sudden, an American oil facility in Deer Park. Where is that? Where's Deer Park? Texas. 9 contractors released from hospital after Shell chemical plant fire in Deer Park. Catches fire. Again, ninjas, both sides. Industrial sabotage. One of the things that you do when you're not actually doing a full-blown war. Okay, next one down. Can we finish off these before we get to... Oh, yeah. In fact, it got so bad that the next one down, the Russians all of a sudden started throwing this out there, which is, hey, no proof U.S. landed on the moon, says ex-Russian space boss. Dmitry says that while many in the Roscosmos defended Washington's version of events, no one could produce irrefutable proof. And there was this great line in here where he said that the former official wrote that he continued with his efforts to when he was appointed head of Roscosmos in 2018. However, according to him, no evidence was presented to him. Instead, several unnamed academics angrily criticized him for undermining the sacred cooperation with NASA. What does that mean, I wonder? It's a mystery. The former chief also said he had received an angry phone call from a top-ranking official who supposedly accused him of complicating international relations. Yes, because if you both fake your space programs, then it comes down to kind of a mutually assured destruction thing, which is why Russia's throwing this out there now. They got nothing to lose. So this way they can actually they can throw this at America and say, hey, you know what? We think your program's fake. What's America going to do? You can't come back at them and say, well, yours is too. No, you have to just deny it and keep quiet. So they're going on the offensive. Good for them. Next one down is BBC Health, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, quietly 4 days ago, the World Health Organization said that the COVID global health emergency is over. That's
Just
it.
like that.
It's over. Just like that. I think they'll be cheering in the streets. Has declared that the COVID virus no longer represents a global health emergency. Statement represents a major step towards ending the pandemic and comes 3 years. 3 years. A wonderful, beautiful 3 years. After it was first declared its highest level of alert over the virus, officials said the virus death rate has dropped from a peak of more than 100,000 people per week to 3,500 in the whole world in a week. More people die on skateboards in the world in a week than that.
Well, they're saying from January 2021 to April. So that's over a few months, but still.
No. 100,000 a week in April in 21, 3,500 this in April, the week of April 24th. You know what I mean? So supposedly, if you believe what they were saying, back in January of 2021, they're averaging 100,000 people a week.
Yeah.
Globally. But just recently it was down to 3,500 people a week. It's like 35, and that's all countries combined. Yeah, I know. It's absolute crap. So yeah, bunch of garbage. Go away.
It is. Meanwhile, if anybody's interested, I highly suggest people go look up a woman named Naomi Wolf and watch a lot of the interviews that she's been doing recently. Her and her team have been reading and putting into layman's terms all of the released Pfizer documents that they tried to hide for 75 years. Yeah. Go check it out. They knew everything.
Yeah, I'd love to put her videos on this channel.
They had the documents in their hands and they still went on TV after reading the documents about the reports of what it does to women and pregnant women and babies, and they still went on TV and told you all to inject that into your arms.
Yep.
They're evil and they must be destroyed.
By the way, I had a chance to watch, I don't know if you caught it. I know I didn't know what your stance was on Stu Peters, but I watched that full BBC interview of him, where he rented out a warehouse and they came after him. And I think because of that documentary he put out, I think it was Suddenly, what it was called, the Suddenly thing he made, where he was covering all the stuff that's been happening. And it's like, wow, you guys are late to the game. It's like you flew over here to try to go after him. Now that thing's been out for a long time, months and months. But he did extremely well, and you could tell that there were drug companies behind that whole interview. They would not. They were absolutely laser focused. They wanted to discredit him as severely as they could, and they got nowhere. They got nowhere fast. His talking points were way too snappy, and they couldn't do anything with him. So good for you, Stu. Good that you held. And again, flattering that the BBC would come after you and try to single you out, but $1 short and a day late. Next one down. Let's talk about this briefly before we go to break, which is the Tucker Carlson thing. I got to mention this because, Tucker's off the air. He was fired by Fox. He was fired, but he's still under contract. So I want to clear things up there for people that don't know what that means. And this first one's from Russia Today, which is he's under contract, but he has a no compete clause, which happens in all sorts of business and sports.
Oh, yeah. Well, entertainment especially too.
Yes. He cannot go over to, we're going to pay you to not go over to another network for a while, but it's very specific in his case, meaning he cannot go back on television until January 2025, right after the election's over. They do
Right.
not want him anywhere near the election. They don't want him talking about it. And you're saying, okay, what does that mean? You know, it's like, well, it's a contract. And so what would happen is, let's get out of this really fast and go down to the next one, which was from Newsmax. Megyn Kelly, she's of course being brave for him, but it's a little extreme. It's an interesting thing that she said. All the text involves down below, which is if he tries to breach this and go on television, for another network, he will give up $30 million, a little chunk of change, and they'll sue him simultaneously.
Right.
So so she's saying he should do it. He should absolutely do it. It's like, dude, they will tie him up in court for a long time. And she's saying, that, well, an arbitrator might be on his side. It's like, that's a big might. And if the arbitrator's not on his side, which Fox, I'm sure, would get to the arbitrator in advance, because Fox has their marching orders. He was pulled out of this thing for a reason. So anyway, just before the show, like a couple hours before the show, he came out on Twitter, because there's a loophole to this. Twitter is not a network. So he's thinking that he will just release a whole bunch of short videos on Twitter for as long as he can and tell people to boycott Fox. And it's like, yeah, well, that'll do something. And it actually might, and he was making the statement. It's like, oh, Twitter's still a this place where you can speak your mind and be free.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I'm on Twitter and I follow your favorite person, Elon. Elon he actually went live recently. They're going to bring back live streaming on Twitter because he brought it up. He was like, oh, this is old Periscope code. And they were testing it to see if it still worked and what they needed to do to bring it back. So they're going to bring back streaming onto Twitter.
So does a live stream on Twitter violate?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It depends on the contract. Like you would have to scrutinize that contract and see where the loopholes are and what you could do to get around it. And I'm sure there's something.
I would think that I think it would be anything live where he could come on, Twitter or not. Pre-recorded, I think they'd do it all day long, but live, I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, but that's the goal. If you guys are wondering, it's like, oh, is he going to sign with Newsmax? Is he going to sign with the Daily Wire? Is he going to sign with, because people are just throwing money at him and all sorts of stuff. I mean, Newsmax basically said he could run the whole programming section. But it's not about that. And Fox, by the way, does not want to negotiate. Apparently, they do not care about the money, which is, Newsmax could go to Fox and say, okay, we will pay out. We will buy out his contract. And Fox is already saying, no, we're not talking to anybody about this. We want him off the air. It's like, okay, who wants him off the air? Apparently, he's a kind of a monkey with a wrench when it comes to the election. They don't want to take chances. People in power don't. So there you go. We'll have to see. Stay tuned. We will see.
No, I'm hearing he might be doing something with Elon on Twitter.
Oh, God.
I know. Won't you love it?
No, I won't, because they'll make Elon look like the good guy again, and Red Team will embrace Elon. It's like, no, sorry. Elon took a whole bunch of shots at Flat Earth, and in my book, and he runs a fake space program.
Yeah, well, you know how it is. It's just like the WWE on steroids. Good guy. Sometimes he's a good guy. Sometimes he's the bad guy. Just depends.
Yes. But you've heard me say it a million times, which he is one of the finest examples of puppetry I have ever seen in my life. So, yeah, watch him be he'll end up being the next tier up puppet master of Tucker. He'll be Tucker's savior. Oh,
probably.
I don't even like thinking about it.
I know. It's funny though. It's like, it's so weird now that we've been doing this for so long. You just start seeing, you can just see it unfolding like in real time. You're like, oh, I just know what's going to happen here. And then it does happen. You're like, I knew it.
Yeah.
It's so predictable.
Yeah. I've seen way too many complimentary things said about him. I was like, no, it's never, I'm never going to turn around when it comes to Elon. Just never. Sorry. I've watched it. I've watched it for too many times. The Roadster in space alone, or the fact that Jaron, I know he's probably not listening right now. Where they edited after the fact. They edited the booster footage after it was downloaded to YouTube. You know, things you are not allowed to do is edit your footage once it's uploaded, and they were. And you know the exceptions they have made for them, and
their whole production is so staged anyway, with all the people there, and you can tell they're like following an applause sign. They're like, yeah,
oh yeah, that drives me
like
insane.
who does that? Like, it's just so dumb.
That's insane. Get all the employees and some extras, crowd them up to the front of this thing, and have them cheering like it's a freaking rock concert. And it's like, what? They're Gen Zers and some young millennials. It's like, these people wouldn't even be doing that. And plus, none of them are holding phones. Get the hell out of here. All right. We're going to break.
That note.
Well, yeah, I know. When we come back, we're going to do Lucky Unlucky and Clown Worlds. Phone number to call in, of course, is 848-222-2480. Karen, the first music, please.
Are you a blue dot? Those questioning where we live are not just here. They are everywhere. Of course, this info is hidden from you, but the app shows you that no matter where you go, you aren't alone. We are everywhere, and we are growing. Find your tribe today.
Shout out to Karen B, Mark Sargent, David Weiss. I'll be checking out that video this weekend at the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app on YouTube. Or
join me, Karen B, every moon day in the early light, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, on Rockfin, Twitch, and Facebook for an early light chit chat. Open phones, open topics, always chill. I hope to see you there.
Back to Strange World, part 2 of 4. It's you, me, as always, the lovely Karen B. And you know what? That was Joe Jackson. stepping out from his album
Night and Day.
Yes, indeed, birthday girl it was. It's Karen B's birthday, by the way. Make sure when you call in to say happy birthday to Karen. You know, I'd give out your phone number if I had it on this phone. But I
Are you trying to get me back for having everybody text you happy birthday on your birthday?
Yep. You know, if 20 people
I thought that would be like a pleasant surprise.
I will
like,
give you.
All these people love me so much. Look at, they're all texting me happy birthday. Like,
if enough people, I'm going to put a secret counter, a double secret counter in chat. And if a certain number is reached, I will paste in Karen's OnlyFans account. So there we go. Bet you didn't know she had one. I can't confirm or deny it. Okay, let's go to the headlines. Lucky, unlucky. We got a few people. First one is lucky for now, which is from dailymail.com. Jamie Foxx's condition has not changed. We haven't seen him. Hell, even Damar Hamlin, they had photos taken with him. 3 weeks after Starr was admitted to hospital for a mystery medical condition. That's a new one. Mystery. Wonder what that mystery is. Despite posts made by actor's Instagram Wednesday thanking his fans. Yeah, there's people saying, yeah, did he really make a post on Instagram? Or was that one of his marketing people? I think it was one of his marketing people. It's like, dude, we can't make him look that bad. It's got to say something. It's like, well, it's not lying. He would have said this. Just post. So yeah, Jamie Foxx's Instagram people posted. We'll see. But he's lucky for now. So there you go. Hopefully he's not replaced by a clone. Next one down, also from the Daily Mail. British teenager, 19, collapses in the shower and dies during her Paris holiday. Moments after telling her aunt, I'm fine. So I would like to take this time to say that the follow-up story will be the parents blaming French water. French water. Or showers in general. Suffered a mystery. Again, there it is. Look, mystery cardiac arrest.
Who's taking a Paris holiday right now, by the way? Just curious.
Don't know. I mean, the mandates officially for the United States roll back completely 2 days from now on the 11th, supposedly. Crossing my fingers on that one. So yeah, anyway, 19, shower killed her. Because showers kill. Well, maybe if you got a guy in there with a big knife. But other than that, not so much. TMZ.com, next one down. Track star Tori Bowie found dead at home. Loved ones concerned after no communication. Track star. She was in Florida and no foul play was involved. Cause and manner of death are not yet known. There she is holding a medal. She was a two-time NCAA long jump champion, won 3 medals at the 2016 Summer Olympics in Brazil. She was 32. There you go. And again, thank you, Peanut Gallery, for having me check TMZ every freaking day. Oh, God, I hate that. I've looked at a lot of media over the years, and there's stuff that I like and stuff I really don't like that much. But TMZ, again, I can't say it enough. It's the worst. It's just... You want to see what fast food media is? The worst fast food American media. It's TMZ. It is the gossip rag.
How much stuff do you look at that you can't stand looking at before you find something good?
Well, I have to scan it. I'm just scanning to see who's lucky and unlucky. But I have to. But it's all so many of it is he said, she said. You know. What rap star, what hip hop star dissed some other guy, at some concert with his former girlfriend? It's soap opera type stuff. Damn, it drives me nuts. Okay, third one down. Cleveland. What's this one? Oh, yeah, this one. You sent me this one. Salon School District mourns sudden death. Suddenly. She died of suddenly. A high school teacher, Crystal Cespedes. Whatever. She, beloved science teacher. She died suddenly. She was 40. Died in her sleep. That happens. Again, if you have a major heart attack when you're sleeping, depending on who's with you or not, if the person next to you is a heavy sleeper, they might not know. You could just, like shift for a second and then you go quiet and that's it.
Yeah.
lets you spontaneously kick the person. Even then, probably just kick you back. It's like, knock it off. Next morning, they got a case of the deads. All right. Next one down. Daily Mail. And we got an email after this one. Operation Repo star Sonia Pizarro dies in her sleep. Well, look at that. At 60. Ex-husband Froilan Tesoro leads tributes, hailing her as a badass chick. And when you scroll down, you can see why. Yep, she's part of the repo industry.
Oh my gosh.
I would not want to steal or stop making
I remember
payments.
that show.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Operation Repo?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Yep. And you know what? I'm going to read an email first before we go to that last lucky unlucky, which is it says from Matrix 1. Is Matrix 1 in chat? Have you seen him tonight, Karen?
Matrix 1?
Yeah. It's all right. I'm going to read this anyway. I don't care if he's there. Hi, Mark. Wanted to share with you a died suddenly story that recently happened to several family members. My Uncle John passed after complaining he couldn't breathe. Within minutes, he had a heart attack and died. And yes, he had taken several of the jabs. Prior to this, he was the healthiest person I knew, never got sick, has been to a doctor, never been to a doctor in probably 30 years. Also, his brother Mike, just before Christmas, died the exact same way in a hotel lobby. And he was also taking several shots. Just 2 weeks before he died, I spent time with John on a mini vacation to Atlantic City. On the way there, we talked about what happened to his brother, and he was aware of it, and it was caused by the shot. He then said that he regretted getting it and would never take another one again. I tried to warn him and several other family members not to take it a few years ago, but no one would listen. Attached a picture of the obit, blah, blah, blah. Thank you and Karen B for doing the lucky unlucky segment on your show. Hopefully more people will wake up to what's going on. I've been listening to your show for a few years. I really enjoy it. I usually catch the first part live and listen to the rest the next day and AM in chat on occasion. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. Okay, last lucky unlucky is not a person. It is animals. What I did not know is that they've been giving zoo animals the shots because they're around people. And guess what's happening to the zoo animals? Yep, they're getting suddenly. So the story from News from Underground by Mark Crispin Miller. See how many more zoo animals have died suddenly in just the last 3 weeks. And there's a whole bunch of them. You scroll down all over the place. So my word to the wise, stop messing with the freaking animals. Come on. That's just mean is what that is. Come on, zoo animals? There's no need for that. How does that help you in the slightest? How does that help anyone?
You know what? Here's my thing. I actually think that the animal vaccine program is like, it's like their animal testing to see what it does, and then they do it to people. Like, there's actually, they were giving coronavirus vaccines to animals before they were giving it to people.
I did not know that.
They were been giving it to dogs and horses. So.
By the way, I like, that shouldn't shock me. Either way, stop messing with the animals. You heard me. You're listening. No, you're listening to this show. Our show gets listened to by certain people.
We know what you did if you are listening.
Yeah,
we
stop.
don't forget.
Stop. Seriously. What's next? Circus animals? Don't want to do that either.
There should be no circus animals.
Well, there's that too. Okay, Clown World. And then if we have time, I want to go into my how to kick off World War III. That's for the United States think tank. Okay, the first one down. This is an interesting one that was sent to me by Caroline of all people. AZ chick. World record extreme long range hit. And you're saying, Mark, why is this a Clown World? Okay, it's Clown World first off because I love America in some ways. Our gun culture, only in America could you do this, where multiple gun clubs got together and created their own custom 50 cal, modified Barrett with a light cartridge, and it's like, let's go for the world record. Let's shoot it, see if we can hit a target 4.5 miles away. Now, not accurately, mind you, when you're shooting that far away, accuracy is just thrown out the window. You're just going to be lucky.
They probably have an area that they're looking to hit, right?
Yes.
For it to land.
Yeah, and they had spotters that below the area with cell phones talking to them, but like it's a lob shot on top of it. You're firing at a hell of an arc. And the day they did it, it took them 2 years to pull this thing off, to build this thing, and the day that they did it took them 70 shots just to do that. It was, they were shooting, all sorts of different days, couldn't pull it off, and finally did it. Why am I bringing this up? Why is this the clown world? The clown world is, and I'm thinking of doing a special video on this. I haven't made up my mind yet, which is we have seen different videos from mainstream media saying, oh, snipers have to take into account the curvature and the Coriolis effect. You know who didn't? These guys. And these guys know a few things about long distance shooting. They went for the world's record. They got the world's record, and you can scan the whole article. I'm searching, the whole article. Not once did they mention Coriolis, Earth curvature, any of that crap, any of it. All they cared about was wind. That's all they cared about, and wind played a massive factor, huge factor. If there was in like a one mile an hour wind, it could throw them off 26 feet from that range. So, yeah, very, very cool. Check it out if you get a chance. It's called World Record Extreme Long Range Hit. It was done with a modified Barrett 50 cal that was chambered for .416 using a 422 grain, which is way lighter than your average 50 cal. And it took, in fact, it's such a long shot. It took 24 seconds from trigger pull to impact. That is ridiculous. That's something out of Wanted, that movie where they were doing extreme long range shots. So, hey, very, very cool. Next one down. But seriously, what I mentioned is if you run into anyone that's, snipers absolutely have, just show them this. It's like, yeah, what's that sniper shoot a mile? Yeah, these guys shot 4.5, never used it. They don't care. Do not care.
Nope.
Next one down from CNN.com. This is, this ties into the beginning intro, which was written by AI. The intro, if you didn't know, scroll back and listen to the beginning intro of the show, which Peanut Gallery had the AI. All it said was, write a funny intro to Strange World with Mark Sargent. TV and film writers, this is from CNN, TV and film writers are fighting to save their jobs from AI. They won't be the last.
Nope.
The writers' strike, which is happening now, is really bad timing for the writers. This isn't like it was back in the day. Television and movies, the quality has gone down to a certain, it has been a sliding graph. It has been going down in quality and been going down in quality to where we're going to find out really quick. If you have an AI, which doesn't count as a writer, you just punch in, it's like, hey, write me a television episode based on this premise, a cop show, with this lead and this, and a romance and, a possible, injury and stuff like that. I bet you that AI is going to be writing stuff and most people won't know the difference. Because, you know what I mean? The general public the general public standards are so low now that they'll be like, there was a writer's strike?
I mean, how do we know it's not already been happening? I feel like AI's already been writing a lot of the news articles. Like there's so many like garbage news articles out there, and a lot of them are just so ridiculous. You're like, come on, this has to be AI filler.
And the writers have probably been kind of fudging with it recently anyway, which they could have been shooting themselves in the foot. Because if other people came in, it's like, oh yeah, Tom over there, yeah, he was totally using AI to write, the last 3 episodes. And if somebody figures that out, it's like, yeah, let's use his parameters and just start writing our own. This could just completely backfire on the entertainment industry.
I think that I mean, you're going to be hard pressed. I mean, even with the voiceover stuff that's coming out now, like voiceover people, you know, they really are going to have a hard time. Even artists, people who do graphic arts, because the AI is doing all of that stuff now.
Yeah. And the point I want to get there is it's not, because Peanut and I were doing before the show, we were doing a lot of little AI experimentation things. It's not that AI can make wonderful works of art, but it's passable. That's the operative word there, where the general public, it's like, oh yeah, Yeah, I could totally listen to that. I could totally watch that. I could totally, that artwork. Yeah, that's totally good for what I need it for. It's passable. Is it top notch? No, but it doesn't have to be because the general public doesn't have that bar. So, yeah, and it's interesting because we were looking through the compiling, and there was a theory that the Peanut had, which was that because right now, like it won't generate current news for you, which I think was interesting. But it will, anything before September of 2021, it can refer to, which is why it gets to it so fast. Meaning it's already, everything's preloaded, but everything after September 2021 doesn't have an opinion on. Not really. But as a compiler, it can do stuff very, very fast. I can't wait to see how this pans out with the writers. It's gonna change things, and of course, it's gonna ruin education.
Well, yeah, it's going to ruin education, and especially since Hollywood writers haven't really been putting out anything new or really exciting for a long time.
Nope.
They just keep remaking stuff.
Yep. Oh yeah, this year especially. This year no one wanted to take any chances, so everything was a sequel to something. And sequels where they didn't even think they could make sequels. It's like, wait, you're digging that up again? It's like, yeah, they only want to go with established intellectual properties. So, all right, last couple before we go to break, which is, but I want to throw out my theory there for the think tank. Oh yeah, this one's from MSN.com. Scientists discover gigantic structure under the surface of the moon. One hidden feature of the moon has been unearthed by scientists, and it's very, very big and very, very heavy. Buried beneath the South Pole Basin, one of the largest preserved craters in the solar system, is a structure with weighs at least 2.18 billion kilograms and measures more than 186 miles in depth and 1,200 miles in length. How did you know this, right? So I scroll down. The groundbreaking finding was made thanks to NASA's Gravity Recovery and Interior Laboratory mission, which measures changes in the moon's gravitational field. What?
Grail?
Yeah, Grail. The Grail. Yeah, it's what a load of crap. Utter crap. This is just a space story, reinforcement space story. That's all it is.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, last one before I tell you guys how to start World War III, which is RT.com. Coronation party. The coronation, which we did not talk about. We're not really going to talk about. Site defaced with giant penis. Pranksters mowed the 30-foot phallus into the lawn at Bath's Royal Crescent ahead of King Charles III's coronation. There it is.
That's hilarious.
Big dick and balls.
Was that before or after the coronation?
Before. It was so so they had to scramble to kind of smudge it out. Imagine going in there. It's like
awesome.
Some things never get old, which is the rebellious teenagers of the British Empire and how much they hate the royals, which is screw you.
And I'm sure, yeah. The identity of the cocky culprits is a mystery. Oh, man.
And they're bemused as to who is responsible. Oh, God. One local investigated the towering Todger and speculated that may not have been mown at all and could have been carefully burned in using herbicide. Possibly.
Todger? Is that a name for a wee-wee?
Yes. Yeah. Whatever the artist's method, the penis appeared 2 days before the lawn was set to host the coronation party, according to the flyer for the event. I'm sure they had to take a drone up there before they figured it's like, wait, what is this? Get a drone up there. And I'm sure they were not. The security guys were not thrilled. Okay, before we go to a good break, I want to mention this real fast.
I bet they were rolling.
I'm sure they were. It's a good prank. It's a good prank. You got the biggest international showcase, all these dignitaries flying in, and giant dick and balls on the field.
That's so great.
Anyway, so here's my thought. Here's the think tanks, because I know that some government agencies do listen to this show. So if you're wondering, it's like, okay, why is your tricks not working with Russia? Russia's too cagey. So this won't take long. if it was me, here's what I would consider. And I'm stealing from a few movies and doing this. You're going to have to kidnap a Russian general, mid-range, but someone who has access to some serious hardware, right? You kidnap a Russian general. And within 24 hours, you stage events on your soil, multiple events on your soil, maybe Poland, maybe Germany, right? And then you point the fingers at him and make him look, you can use deep fake, you can use AI, whatever you want to do, make him look like he went freaking rogue. Like Hunt for Red October or Tom Clancy Rogue. Why this could work is because since you have him, he can't come out and say, well, it wasn't me. And since you have him, the Kremlin can't say it wasn't him because he's missing, right? So if you pull that off and stage a couple events simultaneously, you might get enough momentum to turn it into sort of Gulf of Tonkin type deal. You got a shot. That's the only way I can see this happening. Then you can blame it on the one guy, and you may basically the whole thing comes down to you generating a whole bunch of momentum before the Kremlin can backpedal. And because the Kremlin, if they're smart, would say, we denounce this guy. We don't know where he is. We don't know why he did it. But you're trying to do things before the Kremlin has a chance to diffuse them. There you go. Think tank. Just saved you a whole bunch of money. Because they were going to stay up late trying to think of stuff. I think it worked.
Right.
So there you go. That's my idea. It's like, why are you giving them ideas? Because nothing else is working. That's why everything right now is just embarrassing. It's just they're just not doing it. Again, you're hitting the bear on the nose with a newspaper, is what you're doing right now, and he's just staring at you. Not doing anything. All right. You know what?
Do you think America's going to end up in hot war with Russia?
Do I?
Mm-hmm.
Well, currently, no. We've tried everything now for what, 18 months? Master Gunner, he and I have been comparing notes on this. We've look at the stuff we've done. We've blown up their ships, factories, rail lines, bridges, oil refineries, all sorts of stuff. And then just for fun, we hit the Kremlin.
I mean, at the end of the day, the American military budget is like $700 billion, which is way more than like other people's military budgets combined.
Yep. But for whatever reason, we can't start. We're trying. We're absolutely trying to start a thing with Russia, but it has to be what Master Gunner said many times, which is it has to be real. They have to go for it. You can't fake it. Probably. But he and I will discuss this probably after the show. Anyway, so do I think it'll happen? Currently, no. So I'm giving them tips because right now it's not working for you. I'm an enabler. That's what I do. You don't want me to give you the chocolate? No. I'm giving you the chocolate.
I want the chocolate.
There you go. I know you do. Yeah. Birthday girl. If you didn't know, if you're just coming to the show late, it's Karen's birthday today. So please wish her a happy birthday. Everybody on her OnlyFans page has been wishing her stuff all day. So it's okay. Ted's got an OnlyFans page too, and I'm subscribed. All right, we're going to break. When we come back, we will take your phone calls. 848-222-2480. Karen, let's hit that music, shall we?
All right, we shall. Hey, are you a foodie? Are you looking for the best salsas and hot sauce to serve at your next Mexican cultural appropriation party? A salsa that will knock your guests on their rear ends? Or maybe you're just looking for that authentic roasted chili flavor. Imperio salsa is small batch and handcrafted with choice, non-GMO ingredients. It is legit my favorite salsa ever. Support your local flat earther and go to imperiosalsa.com and order some of the most authentic flavored salsa I have had in a very long time. Shipping is included on all USA orders, and oh, look at this. The more you order, the more you save. They have some of the best seasonings that go great on your homemade guacamoles and quesadillas or whatever you like. They are the bomb. Season your meat with it. Season everything with it. Go get it. Keep it flat.
Eat my salsa.
Gotta get you the fuck out of Dodge, man. We're going to Vegas.
What are you talking about, Vegas?
Vegas, baby, Vegas.
What do you mean, Vegas?
Vegas, Las Vegas.
I'm not going to no Vegas.
Yeah, I think, you know what, man? We're gonna go to Vegas and,
When are we going to Vegas?
We're gonna give Daddy the Rain Man suite. Do you dig that? We're going to Vegas, Mike. Vegas! You think we get there by midnight? Honey, we're gonna be up 500 by midnight. Yeah! Vegas! Vegas, baby, Vegas!
One thing to remember here, if you're making still water, it's always flat, always level. So every little line that you put in it must be basically flat. You can go anywhere you want to go with it, but you have to keep them straight. In still water, it's always flat, always level.
I'm in a cult, 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 I'm in a cult. I'm at the Grove, Bohemian. I drink the juice, the chocolate milk, the holy cow. I wear the Sikhs, tip up the beak on the 33.
Welcome back to Strange Worlds, part 3 of 4. It's you, me, and the always lovely birthday girl, Karen V. Oh, that's Karen's phone number? Oh, okay. Peanut just shot me Karen's phone number. I will not give it out. Does it start? Well, I won't give that. Does it start with an area code 916?
It does.
Uh-oh. That could be trouble. I'm not nearly drunk enough to give out that number, though.
Yeah.
All right. Not that I get drunk anymore, ever. Sad. All right. Let's pick up the phone calls, shall we? Phone number to call in is 848-222-2480. That's 848-222-2480. Operators are standing by. And by that, I mean me. So be nice, because remember, no matter where you go, there you are. 505, line is unmuted.
Mark, Karen, happy birthday. Wow.
Thank you.
Are you, you're welcome. You're welcome. Hope you had a blessed day. And hey, I'm just curious, what is your birthday cake of choice, or your dessert of choice on your birthday?
Well, I don't eat a lot of cake, but today Cammie and Zach and they brought me a light angel cake with whipped cream frosting and some fruit on it. Just like a simple. It was good.
Nice. Sounds great. Mark, what's your favorite birthday cake since you just had one?
I'm not a big cake guy, believe it or not.
Okay.
But for birthdays, what people have made for me is tapioca. It's in a bowl usually. Tapioca pudding with melted chocolates on the inside. You know, I heat the whole thing up with melted chocolates. It is delicious. Peanut Gallery's shaking his head. He's going, whatever. That's un-American. The no, it's just one of those things. Tapioca, seriously,
sounds great.
Tapioca pudding heated up to, I don't know, 100 degrees with melted chocolates in it, dark chocolate. Oh my God, it's so delicious. So there you go. That's my thing. I'm not a cake guy.
Wow, there you
no. Oh, but I also like baked goods. I like lemon squares. But yeah, I mean, there's vanilla cake.
Oh, I like lemon squares too.
Yeah.
I actually made a whole thing of lemon bars not that long ago. Those were so good.
Did you?
Yes.
Was it the one with the drugs in them?
No, what do you mean with the drugs?
Damn it! I was hoping you'd like just jump in right away. It's like, yeah, there were tons of drugs in them.
No, because I made them with my daughter, so there were no drugs in them.
Oh, all right.
Outside of sugar.
All right. Hey, what else you got?
Wow, you guys are making me hungry. Well, today I guess was the anniversary of them claiming, or NASA claiming, that they're shooting lasers at the moon successfully. And I did see a few articles on it too today that was trying to mix the new Artemis program in with some of the laser technology. But I was looking into it a little bit, and they're claiming that Apollo 11 and 14 and 15 carried some of this equipment up to the moon and left it there. And I guess the Soviets had a little play in this too. They claim their landers did it as well. And then, believe it or not, the Israeli lander that crashed a few years ago, supposedly into the moon, Bereshit, although it crashed into the moon, the scientists believe that
it's transmitting
the impact.
Whatever.
Yeah. So they're confident that you can actually through the debris probably get a reflection on the laser. But one of the interesting things that they threw out here in this article was that they were able to figure out with their with some of these experiments with lasers hitting the moon, is they can figure out the orbit and the distance and all that. And what they concluded was the moon doesn't stay in the same orbit relative to Earth. So in fact, the moon is drifting 1.5 inches per year. And Mark, I figured out the math for your age. If you're 55, it's moved 82.5 inches or 6.8 feet in your short 55 years. So,
wow.
But you know what? It doesn't really look like it's 7 feet further away, does it?
It doesn't. It doesn't. It really doesn't. By the way, on a side note, Peanut could probably pull up the article. China says that their super secret space plane came back after 9 months, and I didn't see any pictures. I saw an artist illustration. It's like, yeah, it's great. You can just tell us anything you want. My space plane came back like a month ago.
I saw that.
No one would cover it. No one would run that story.
Yeah, no, the stories are just amazing. They're pure entertainment. And that story you talked about earlier too. That's going to get interesting if they kind of do this again. The one with the Russians and the claiming that we didn't actually go to the moon. Wow.
Well, again, it's
really interesting.
That's a jab on their part because there's nothing we can do. We cannot respond to that. We can't say, no, we absolutely went to the moon and you're just bitter because you didn't. Because you don't want to start that up with Russia because Russia's like, oh yeah.
Right.
We could declassify a few things just to mess with you. So yeah.
Well, it's real now. If they're starting to defect, I'm just curious if it's going further.
I think it's them trying to, and the guy's quotes were pretty good, where he's getting crap from political leaders saying, "Don't rock the boat on this one," and really, Russia doesn't have anything to lose.
Yeah,
Russia's has kind of in an enviable position right now. What do they care? Like, you guys are already going to mess with us, so we're going to mess with you.
If you think about it too, like they know what's being talked about online, and they're like, well, at the top, they got to be like, look, they already know. They know.
Yeah.
We could totally use this against them now because everybody already knows. Who cares? Let's do it.
It would hurt America more than it would hurt Russia. If you told the Russian people that there were no official cosmonauts, because remember, they never went to the moon. So they're kind of off the hook there. But if they came back and says, "Oh yeah, no one's ever landed anywhere near the moon," it would hurt us way more.
Absolutely.
I mean, you'd have people crying at home if you're over a certain age, holding their little American flag, going, "Oh God, everything's falling apart." So, anyway, anything else?
Wow. No, that's pretty much it. Just what a great show as usual, and again, have a great happy birthday, Karen, and a shout out to Dan and Jan, and everybody keep it flat, and see you, Mark. See you, Karen. Bye, Peanut.
Thank you.
Bye. Let us jump down to 646.
Thanks for all the birthday wishes. I'll just say because I am seeing it a lot in chat, and some people are. Thank you.
Oh boy, could be a birthday song.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Queen Bee. Happy birthday to you.
Hot sex, nice.
What you guys doing? You guys good?
Well done.
It's been about a minute.
Yeah, that's been a little while.
How's everything out in Flat Earth world?
It's pretty good. We haven't even brought up the Vegas conference yet because we're just running the promo for it right now.
Yeah.
So
Vegas is gonna be so good.
But people are coming in with meetup.
Really fast, too.
There's a whole bunch of people doing regular meetups now, which is fun. Once they do a location, it's like, oh, let's do it again. So that's a blast.
I think we're just every time I think we're almost to the boiling point, it's like it turns into like, oh, this is glacial again, and it's just like it's gonna take forever. And then I thought we would get to 100,000 on the app, and it was.
Oh my God! I didn't even bring that up. Holy crap! I thank you, Alex, for bringing that up. Congratulations.
11/11, by the way.
11/11.
11/11.
Timing. That David Weiss and the Flat Earth, the Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. I am absolutely. I'm sorry I did not bring that up. It hit six figures today.
That's right. Not today. It did it a few days ago, but yeah, it did hit that 6-figure mark.
100,000. So congrats to you, David, if you're still listening, and well deserved. Took a little while.
Yeah, I was like, man, it's just like it's so cool that it's like I thought it would be a little quicker, but how's everything else, guys? I'm sorry I missed you for a couple of months. I've just been busy doing stuff. I'm sure I'm caught up on everything. We had a really good meetup up here in just north of the city, which was fun.
Yeah, I saw some pictures of you. That seemed kind of fun. You were up there, and
we took pictures.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah, very, very cool.
Pictures are great.
That's all I had. It was fun. I just wanted to sing happy birthday to Karen, and I'm just like enjoying my night off for the first time in 2 months on a Tuesday. So, you guys get on with it. Love you guys.
Thanks, Alex.
All right, talk to you soon. Bye.
He always hangs up before I can actually mute him. which is fine. All right, let's let's stay out in New York. 718. 718, line unmuted.
Happy birthday to Karen. Happy birthday to Karen. Happy birthday to Karen. Happy birthday to Karen and many more.
Thank you.
Yes. So how are you guys?
Great.
Been a minute since I called. Well, I'd just like to announce my Flat Earth adjacent meetup at the Starbucks attached to the Empire State Building next Thursday at 3 o'clock. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not having a meetup, Flat Earth adjacent or otherwise. But Mark, I found Julian Sands. Turns out he was hiding in my shed. So he will be available for work in a couple of weeks after some TLC from myself.
You are so weird. And that's saying something because it's a flat.
Listen. But I wanted to ask you guys if you'd ever done any gummies, THC, marijuana gummies and stuff.
Yes.
I just recently had an experience with that, and the person I was with explicitly told me to only bite into half of one, and they looked exactly like Starburst and tasted like Starburst, and I was like, oh, these are delicious. And I went and had two, and I was pretty much annihilated and paralyzed for the whole night. So, rookie mistake. You hate to see it. And it's a warning for anyone out there who's not a seasoned drug taker to only maybe have a tiny bit of a gummy. And yeah, what else? Oh, there was something else. Would you like to hear another one of my really off-color, non-PC jokes?
Sure.
Yes.
It's not as good as the Vietnam vet one. So, what do you say to a woman with two black eyes?
I know this.
Nothing.
I know this one.
You already told her twice.
That's impressive. You could pull that off as a woman.
I know. It's the delivery, I think. And that also reminds me of something. You know that show, The Honeymooners, right?
Sure.
Very popular in the 50s. I mean, all Americans know that show.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking that show could never be aired now because pretty much every episode, I mean, there was a domestic violence thread in it, wasn't there? Like he was always like bang, zoom to the moon, basically. He was threatening to like hit her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, would that fly in today's climate? No,
Oh,
right?
No way.
No,
No.
not so much. I mean, the delivery was pretty good, but yeah, the implications was he was always threatening to hit her constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, not good.
Okay, before I go, I'd like to shout out to everyone in the chat and also the usual suspects, Jan and Alex, who just called. It was really nice to hear his voice. Glad you're well. And also, I'd like to send a shout out to Dottie, whose voice I don't think I've heard for about a year. I hope she's okay.
Yeah, she's
Have you
okay.
guys heard from Dottie?
Yeah, no,
Yes,
she's around.
okay.
She's around.
Oh, she's around.
Once you're in Flat Earth, you don't leave the agency. Wait, I mean Flat Earth. Why did I say agency? It's so weird. But no, you don't. No, nobody leaves Flat Earth once you're in.
Okay. Well, I'm super glad I got to speak to you before Dennis. Speak.
Oh my god, that's great.
Yeah.
You know why that's so funny to me? Because Dennis is literally the next guy on the list. He's right below you. He's right there. He's listening to this call.
Oh, Lord. The universe has been benevolent to me tonight. Next time I speak to you guys, I want to speak to you specifically about the number 9 and just all the. Well, anyway. We'll talk another time. Good night.
Good night. See you. Again, Flat Earth has the best people. Speaking of good people, we got time. Sure. Why not? Let's go to Dennis, who, just so you guys know, Dennis he's always in the exact same place when we're talking to him. Well, yeah, exact. He's driving a truck somewhere in Oregon, and Peanut saying, do we have enough time for Dennis? It's like, yeah, we have enough time. We'll pick him up. 504. Where are you, Dennis?
Hey, I'm all right. I'm a little bit south of where I usually am today. But like you say, headed in the same direction, close to the same spot. Question. My phone, I don't know, it got a little messed up just now. What was the lady saying? Or what was, like 45 seconds
She
ago,
was
I missed
she
all
was
of it.
saying nothing but good things. She was saying, I just love and peace to everyone. That's all she was saying.
Appreciate that. And I do want to echo, I want to second what you said about Dottie. Shout out to Dottie. I haven't heard from her in a little bit either. So if she can hear this, I hope to see her at meetup with Ted Summer and Mark in June.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Bellevue meetup.
June 11th, just to the east of Seattle in a place called Bellevue. And we're going to be meeting out there. So it should be a fun time. I will be attending.
Yeah, the mustard grill or something like that.
Yes.
Yep.
Mustard Seed Grill and Pub.
Yep. Wet
in
t-shirt
Bellevue,
contest,
Washington.
but only men, and we're using oil instead of water. So should be a good time.
I have it posted at flatearthfestivals.com.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to say that I called into Coffee Talk, I think yesterday morning. I was thinking of saying this, but I'll just say it now. A few weeks ago on A Strange World, I think it was the one immediately before our friend Bob Nodell passed away. You had gone back in time and you were talking about the 1980s, and you mentioned music also. And I was just, well, Karen mentioned something also, but mainly I was comparing you and me until around 2015. I think we leveled off. But you said that, you can correct me if I'm mistaken, but in a nutshell, what you said, the 80s was a great time for you and for other people. And it's been downhill since then until, I'm guessing, around 2015 when you were back in the game with Flat Earth. That's just a summary. I know there's probably more detail. With me, it's something close to the opposite of that. I could go into detail sometime if you want, but the 1980s for me were an unmitigated horror story. That was my lowest point. In the 90s, things began to turn around, and they've been uphill ever since. So I guess around 2015, we finally leveled out. So I guess financially, we've been the opposite, except finally I got money. So I could say I'm guessing for Flat Earth, when you finally came into it, I'm like, where you been? And you could say the same thing for me about money, because I never had any until, around 2014, I got my CDL. So in a nutshell, but the last thing, Karen said, at that conversation, she said that the 80s were a great time for her too. And a thought occurred to me, just doing the math, she can correct me if I'm mistaken here, but doing the math back in the 80s, I'm happy if things were great for her, but she was probably little bitty back in the 80s. And happy birthday, bud.
Thank you.
Karen was 3.
Anyway, that's all I got.
Yeah. I don't. What really did you say that?
I'll let you go.
Okay.
Thanks,
all right.
Dennis.
Thank you, Dennis. The the 80s. You must have been.
Yes,
pretty
I was young.
Yeah, you were young. I was. Well, I was in high school in the 80s.
I was born in the 70s, so it was like elementary school, junior high in the 80s.
Oh, that still would have been pretty fun. The 80s were fun for a lot of people.
I was at the age where we could go ride our bikes around all day and go just fuck off for like 8 hours, and then we just had to make sure we were home by the time it was dark. Like
There you
that
go.
was
the
last great generation of that
innocent
time.
Yeah, kind of like if you guys remember going all the way back, the movie E.T., where all the kids were riding around their bikes all the time.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, when the sun came down, you'd start thinking about coming in, and you had not a freaking care in the world. That was absolutely accurate.
Yes, that was my childhood.
Yeah, a lot of fun. No internet. Yeah, I mean, you were outside because
no internet.
There was no distractions, no phones, landlines, no cell phone.
Landlines. It was like, have you ever seen that meme, like where it's all the bikes are on the lawn in front of a house? It's like, this is how we knew where everybody was.
Yeah.
When, that's how you knew everybody's bike was laying down in front of the house.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Peanut says drinking out of water hoses. Yeah. Which is unheard of now. Absolutely unheard of. It's like, no, yeah, you laid your bikes down. It's like, where's the freaking water? You didn't even go into the house to get water. It's like, is there a hose around here somewhere?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was good. No one complained.
That dog water fresh? No, we didn't do that.
No, there was there was bottled water wasn't a thing ever.
No, there was no bottled water. No, hell no.
What's bottled water?
You had like a little, like a Burger King cup or something.
Yeah. But yeah, it was extremely innocent, and I mean, people talk about the 50s being innocent, but the 80s were very innocent along those lines. And even television, there was a limited amount of shows. Remember, there wasn't almost nobody had recording devices of any kind, so you had to catch it live if you want. And I mean, how many shows were there? Which is why I love so much the
well, there was only like a few channels. There was like a handful of channels too at that time. There was only like,
Great. Well, there was 4. There was ABC, NBC, CBS, and PBS, which nobody watched except for Sesame Street and Electric Company and Zoom.
I watched all that.
Well, yeah, no, we watched that, but it was pretty limited.
And Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross was on PBS.
Yeah. Bob Ross again was I didn't even know what ASMR was, but I knew that Bob Ross could practically hypnotize me through the television. I mean, I was like locked in. It's like, how is he doing this? Who is he talking to? He's talking to things in the freaking painting. There's things he's seeing things in the painting that aren't there, but I know he knows they're there. And then there was this one, if you've ever remember, where he had a little bird on the easel that he had rescued, and he put a little bird. It was off camera, and you could hear it chirping at him. He's like, no, we can't. We're painting right now. We can't talk. It's like, oh my god, he's got a bird. So awesome. I always wondered if I had a theory later that if Mr. Rogers ever came into the studio while he was painting, the universe would just implode in this rainbow of kindness. It would just go, poof, and that would be it. That'd be the end. It's like, nope, that's how the universe ends, with those two men talking to each other.
That would be great. That's what we need to happen. I think that's what we need to happen to make the world right again.
Is to have an implosion of kindness.
Yes.
Before we go to break, I got to mention Fred Rogers. If you've never seen him do his monologue to, I think it was Congress or the Senate. It was a Senate thing where he was getting funding, the early funding for PBS. One take, he was sitting there, and nobody knew who freaking Fred Rogers was, and he was just lighting he was just again hypnotizing everybody. But a lot of people don't know that he was the celebrity that other celebrities went to visit. Meaning people, they would without cameras, no recording devices, people would show up on the Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood set just to shake his hand, because they all heard the rumors, which was like, no, that's him in real life. That's no act. It's actually him. And they'd just be entranced. It's like, oh my God, he's the real thing. There's no acting here. This isn't actually, because it's rare in the acting world to find somebody like that. It's like, no, he doesn't play a character. I mean, yeah, he plays all the puppets and crap like that. But no, it's really him. So it's very, very cool. But if you've never seen it, I'll see if I can find the link.
Have you seen the video that's going viral, the old Mr. Rogers video where he's talking about boys and girls, and he's like, only boys can be the daddy.
Yes. Yeah. He was he was a child psychologist, child counselor.
Mm-hmm.
He was and a minister on top of it. I mean, he was absolutely as straight-laced. I mean, ripped straight out of Pleasantville type of guy. But I'll see if I can find the thing for you guys for when he was talking to the government about getting funding, and they just melted in front of him. And these guys had never seen him before in its life. It's like, Who is this guy? Just give him as much money as he wants. Just give it to him. We can't, or God may smite us for anything. All right, we're going to go to our last break. And when we come back, we will pick, who are we picking up back? We're going to pick up 214. We're going to pick up 845. Peanut, is that your notes in there? Nope, he hung up. Who is, we want to pick up that up? Okay, we will pick that up. Oh, yeah, it's not Ramon's brother. Okay, we'll pick him up if he calls back. All right, anyway, let's go to break. Karen, music.
Where is the curvature?
Alpha 33, target is on property, approaching food trailer.
Engage Delta 9.
Roger. Alpha 33 descending.
Hey, I know you.
They might be listening.
CIA?
Maybe.
Aliens?
Probably.
Globalists?
Definitely. I may have already said too much.
We have what you need.
Really?
It's flat
I'm listening.
and round
Go on.
and delicious.
Tell me the secret. I see the truth in it.
I thought you might.
This truly is a special place.
Yeah, we like to think so.
Will you be here tomorrow?
We move around quite a bit.
Ah, a mobile command center. A strong strategy. I like where your head's at.
Anything else?
I was never here.
Package intercepted. Copy that, Alpha 33. Come on back, let's eat.
Long live Flat Earth.
Long live Flat Earth!
Welcome back to Strange World, part 4 of 4. It is you, me, and the always lovely birthday girl, Karen B. So don't forget it's her birthday. And I so want to give out your freaking phone number, but I'm not going to. You know why? Because women should
Don't
never.
do it, because I will have to change my phone number.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, women can never put their phone numbers on the internet, even now, which is so sad.
I can't ever do something like that.
I'm
No.
going to reinforcement at the Vegas conference. I'm going to dox myself to open the conference.
I only did that because you already give your number.
Well, that's
out
just
to
it. And
everybody.
I'm gonna remind people. I don't think most people know. It's like, look, I dox myself in the description box of every single video I have out there. And a lot of people don't know that for whatever reason. It's like, no, I'm gonna test it. It's like, oh, here's my freaking phone. In fact, here, my phone number is, just so you guys know, it's 303-494-6631. There it is. And again, because I'm a guy, I can get away with it. And trolls are lazy, so they're not. I'm staring at my phone. Here it is, right in front of me. Ready? See how long it takes for somebody to call. 303. Somebody type into chat 303-494-6631. Somebody call it. I dare you. Come on, see? Trolls almost never call this line, which is so weird. I've got a second number. I've got a landline.
Because most of them don't have any guts in real life. That's why it's so easy for me to just. It's just these people have no guts in real life.
But women.
Why they're trolls?
Texting doesn't count, Peanut, and Peanut doesn't count. It's like, no, you can't text me. You got to call me. And yeah, with women, it just drives me insane because a woman could put out her phone number, and you have to change it because men will get drunk and call at 3 a.m. Doesn't matter if they know you or not. As long as they see a picture of you somewhere, some sort of image, like if they went to Karen's OnlyFans page, they'd be calling her all the time. It's like, how do I subscribe? I'm so drunk. Anyway,
That's why I stopped using the Skype phone number.
Really? Oh, because your Skype number was out there?
Because then you call the Skype number and it's like calling all my devices that have Skype. I was like, oh, hell no. Delete.
Yeah, I've got a Skype number out there. I'm not going to give that out only because I like using it for serious things. Only because the only reason I don't give it out is because I've got a big speaker system hooked up to this thing, and when an incoming Skype call comes in, it's like an alien ship buzzing you. It's like dun 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 dun. It's like, oh my god, I can hear it through my. All right, are people texting me? Yeah, all right, whatever. Yeah, again, texting is not going to work. Okay, let's pick up. We got a few calls. Let's pick up 214. 214, line unmuted.
Well, hello, Mark, Karen, and Peanut. Happy birthday, Karen. It's just wonderful.
Thank you, Jan.
Especially that you've already got the conference, put away, so to speak, that you accomplished that before your birthday.
Pretty much.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I think that's a great achievement. I mean,
it is the first big conference coming back to the West Coast of the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, should be exciting.
Yeah.
Finally, somebody calls. Colin Daniels. I'm not going to give out your phone number for obvious reasons, but I'm not going to answer it right now either because we're on with somebody. Anyway, thank you, Colin. Sorry, Jan, go ahead.
That's okay. I had a couple of on the weekend. I was upset about a couple of things. Camilla Parker Bowles was married and divorced before she got together with Charles, and he was Prince Charles. But it was my understanding he could not be king. He would have to abdicate if he married a divorcee. So I'm not happy about what happened Saturday.
Yeah, you're not the only one. There are members of the royal family that are not thrilled with how the whole thing transpired. But as they say in the biz, everything was nice and legal. So because the queen had passed, and it's like, nope, this is how secession works. Secession, whatever. Transfer of royalty power. That's how it works.
They will make it work.
Yeah. Although it's funny because now that will get passed to his oldest son, and Harry's out of the loop because of an American trollop, soap opera trollop. Go figure. That's gotta be be in the bonnet.
I think Prince William will have an interesting future, and also in the Kentucky Derby, Of course, I wasn't able to actually see this one, but they were talking about a couple of horses that died.
Yeah.
With trainers.
Yeah, like 4 of them.
Not on the race. That race. I mean, 8
No.
Bells did many years ago, but I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Yeah, there was they fired the trainer recently, and we didn't cover that story for whatever reason. But yeah, four horses died under somewhat mysterious circumstances.
guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of shady stuff that goes on with horse races and them drugging these horses, and yeah, shady stuff does
But
happen.
they've been fixing horse races since I've been alive. So
Well,
this
big money in horse racing. When you get
Anytime
up to the
there's a bunch of money involved, that's when these things start becoming manipulated behind the scenes, you know.
Yeah.
rigging sporting events for
thank you.
for money is almost a prerequisite of humans. It's just how it works. It's like, what do you mean? What are the odds? Sorry, go ahead, Jen.
No, I was just going to say thank you for letting me speak out about a couple of things that bothered me in 2 different ways. And it'll be interesting to see how Charles turns out. And I think I admire Putin very much as I admire President Trump. And I think that they are, just a couple of really special people. And I just admire his Putin's patience here. But I know he's got a plan that he's working on. And basically, probably only he and top people know about it. But you're right, Mark. That was really, really good first quarter with all that stuff about Putin.
Thanks. Yeah, and by the way, Putin's part of Putin's plan is to sink England. So they're still very, very far away. There's all of Europe between them and us. And so don't think that Europe is just going to be unscathed. No, Putin's got a thing for England right now. I don't blame him. So.
Well, I'm still counting on God to show up first before anything goes really bad, because I believe he's had enough. And I really, really believe that with all my heart and soul. And let's see, I think I said what I was going to say because of those 2 things. And just it sounded like a beautiful cake visually too, the birthday cake you got, Karen. And I would like to say hello to Grant, who's in Texas, who's friends with Rob Skiba and his family, and to Dan, and amen to what Dan said about John. And then up to Jill up in New York, and Zulu One, over to Paul. I don't remember his state, but I know it's Paul. And then everybody in Quebec. Well, Quebec, they're doing something really good right now on the shot. Quebec and Ginger, and then I'm pointing in the air, and Jen, William, and John. And I hope, Karen, for your birthday, you were surrounded by some family members too.
Yeah, for sure. My children.
Good. Oh, wonderful. You
Yeah.
have 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful. Children are wonderful, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They're the best.
The best. Well, they have a great mother. So, anyway, thank you, Mark.
Yep. You have a good evening, Jen.
I will.
All right.
Okay.
Night.
Night.
Night, Jan.
That's Jan. Hope springs eternal. Why did you send me the thing about Robert De Niro? Oh, because Robert De Niro probably shouldn't be having children when he turns 80. Yeah, probably not. Not going to see high school graduation with them. That's for sure. I had a boss, same sort of thing. He waited till he was 50, and then he got ill and didn't make it to his girl's graduation. It's like, you got to plan these things out. All right, let's go to 860. What's up? 860.
Hey. Happy birthday, Karen. Happy birthday, Karen. Happy birthday. Karen. They reason from gestation of the womb or all that stuff from the mother and everything else everybody said from all the previous chats and Moon Day, which I get is kind of cool. And whenever you're born and when you're, all that stuff. And well, you get the idea. Anyway, happy birthday, Karen.
Well played, sir.
So yeah, I was. Oh, absolutely. I was gonna say, you said 46. Oh wow, I'm 42. That's the 90s were great. The grunge era and everything.
They were good.
Yeah, I was listening to what you guys were saying about growing up without. Well, internet just came about to the masses. Of course, Al Gore invented the internet. We all know that.
Of course.
Oh, geez. But no, yeah, 80s were, you could just stay out all day and
play
in the yards and play with your friends in the neighborhood, ride your bikes, and the whole 9 yards. It was good times.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit younger. So 90s is where I kind of was a teenager and stuff like that. But yeah, I was just calling in to say, hey, hope you guys had a good time today with Ted and Cammy and kids and stuff. It's really late where I am. Just got out of work, so I was listening to Stranger on my way home and decided to chime in.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, hey.
Mark, you had yours, and then Karen. So
Yeah, we're pretty close to each other. Although that takes you out of Taurus, though. You're not Taurus, right?
Yes, I am.
Oh, you are Taurus?
You're like the very beginning of Taurus. Taurus is April 20 to May 20.
Oh.
So you're like,
although Tauruses tend to, that would explain a few things.
So are all of us compatible? I'm a Libra. I'm October 8.
I don't know a lot of
Brian
Libras.
Staveley.
Oh, Staveley's a Libra?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that. I don't know. Who knows?
Staveley's also like one part flying monkey from Wizard of Oz. Anyway, what else you got? Anything?
Well, I don't want to keep. Maybe other people want to say, shout out Karen, but just wanted to chime in, say real quick, happy birthday. Shout outs to obviously you, Mark, and Karen, and Ted, Rick Hummer. Let's see, Cammy, Blake Bob, Rob Skiva, Sheila, Jake. Anybody else that I'm not remembering right now? Everyone from Take On the World. Everybody from Now You See TV. Everybody from Strange World. Not Strange World. You know what I mean.
You do.
Busters.
It's quite a list you got there, man.
Yeah. And all the flat earthers I met finally at Stanford FE, rock and roll. Alex and Dave, pleasure meeting you in Zulu, rock and roll. Nice to finally meet you there, man.
Right on, man.
All right.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right. Have a good one. Drive safe, shall we? And he hangs up. I'm waiting for the last comment, and then he hangs up. I give him the seconds to throw in one last thing. No, but he doesn't. No. All right, fine. Let's go to someone who's not Ray Romano's brother. 845. What's happening?
Hey, it is Ray Romano's brother. I haven't called in for a while. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing pretty good.
Thank you.
Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm on the earbuds here, and I'm driving. I'm a truck driver, too. So.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, no, I wanted to call in and talk about the 80s a little bit, because that's like one of the only things I know anything about. So the 80s were quite a time. And I knew the end of the world was coming when Married with Children came out. That was when I knew it was over. It was finished for America.
That's a good
For
point.
all morality.
When that, when
All
that,
right? I mean, 80s with Children, or Married with Children was the end. That was it.
when that, a lot of people,
television, the innocence of television. Oh yeah, that was over with Married with Children.
yeah, a lot of people didn't know when that show came out. It was quite controversial because the writers did not pull any punches, and it was there were some morals issues in that show. And they were not shy about it.
No. Karen said something about he knew where everybody was from the bikes on the lawn. Man, that was so true. Even it was like we all had our bikes. It was like, you know, just like ET, because everybody had their bike. I had a mongoose. I had a really nice mongoose chromoly, really lightweight. Everybody was envious of my bike. It was a really nice bike. And I used to rent it for $20 a day.
What?
Yes, I would get $20 a day to rent that bike. We used to stay out all night long. I lived in a small city in upstate New York. It wasn't that big, about 10,000 people. And we'd stay out all night on our bikes, about 5 or 6 of us. And the cops would say, you got to put lights on your bike. So we go home and tape flashlights on the handlebars, and we'd just stay out riding around all night. That
Nice.
shows, you know, I was from a single parent home, and my dad, he was pretty loose. So I was able to do whatever I wanted. It was pretty crazy. But yeah, the 80s, man, that was like the last of the, you know, I mean, you had some freedom in the 90s until like 9/11, but, you know.
Yeah, pretty much. But that was it. That was
know?
it, though. Like, our children don't get that same experience that we got.
No.
No. And there was more I wanted to say, and the last caller, I was so into his call and all of his happy birthday to Karen and everything. I forgot there was something that I wanted to say about the 80s that was just so. I remember when the internet started to come out at the end of the 80s, and everything. Remember, it was www. Always www.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. So anyway, I don't want to keep you any longer, but I just wanted to share some 80s memories.
Thank you.
Shoveling snow for a couple dollars on a snow day, listening to the radio for the school closing, things like that. Sitting on your front porch, waiting for your song to come on the radio so you could hit record on the cassette deck.
Yep.
That's all gone. No one today knows anything about that.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys be good, and shout out to everybody, and Dr. Weed, I haven't shouted him out in a long time, so I haven't called it. So you guys all be good. Have a great night. Thanks for the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Have a good one. Bye. All right. We're almost to the end of the Karen B birthday show. But you know what? Wait, you got angel food cake?
I don't know what it was. It was just a little, like, light white cake with.
It was fluffy, like spongy.
Yeah.
That's angel food cake.
And it had whipped cream frosting, and then just a bunch of fruit like strawberries, blueberries, blackberry.
Yeah, you don't see anything wrong with you getting angel food cake? Doesn't seem out of place to you at all?
No. What do you think I should burst into flames or something?
Hey, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I'm just saying that angel food cake seems to be. Anyway, let's pick up a caller, shall we? Let's go to 845. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it with Birthday Girl.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I can't do it as good as everybody else did. Happy birthday, dear Karen. Happy birthday to you. Sorry, that was the best I could do.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. How are you?
Thank you. Great.
That was applause.
Awesome.
Remember that was used to be applause?
Thank you.
Yeah.
On the phone, you could do that. The crowd goes wild.
Yes. Screaming, the cheering.
Yeah.
Right. Crazy. Hey, man, the 80s were interesting. You guys just made me just like remember so much shit. Oh my God. Like you had to be home, like you said, as soon as by the time it got dark, any parent in the neighborhood was allowed to put hands on you. I mean, I got beatings and smacked by plenty of moms that were like, "You watch your mouth and get your ass home. I'm calling your mother." Oh my God. Yeah, the good old days.
The phone
oh my
was a
God, he
weapon.
just killed me with sitting on the porch waiting for the song.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yeah. You had to wait for songs, or you had to call in for songs. The request line.
Yeah.
Hey, can you play such and such?
And hopefully you didn't fuck up and hit record too late or stop it too early. Yeah.
If you called in to request the song and then the DJ played you requesting the song and then the song you requested right after you requested it, that was the shit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And people would call it. It's like, you were on the radio, dude.
Yeah, I heard you, dude. I recorded it.
Right. Oh my God, it was
that
crazy,
was me,
man. Crazy. These kids don't know anything.
Yeah, you do not know how limited media was. Media wasn't even First off, media wasn't even a word, which is why I didn't find my mystery song for so long.
No, it was like radio or TV.
Yep, radio or TV. That's it.
Right.
Oh yeah, and Peanut says
Yeah,
and
I mean-
encyclopedias. It's like, yeah, the people had those.
Encyclopedias. Wow. We got them. We had them.
If I was bored on a rainy day, you'd see me
Crazy.
thumbing through those. Looking for
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
stuff with pictures.
There's a lot of interesting stuff in there. I mean, all lies and stuff, especially the space section that I always read. But yeah.
Yeah.
There's no instantaneous gratification and finding the information you want and watching a movie and then being bored of of what you just looked up. You're like, 15 seconds of it is just too much. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Fucking people today, right? It's like crazy.
Yeah. If had I known, I would have never guessed that TikTok was the limit of people's patience. That would get to the point. It's like, no. If it can't fit on a TikTok video, it's not worth the topic. It's like, wow. Really?
Goldfish.
Yeah. No, I missed a lot. I relished in the 80s. I loved it. I loved every part of it. And I knew when the 80s changed over to the 90s, and the 90s again, fun. A lot of fun, but the 80s had that innocence that you didn't know was there. You didn't know what the innocence meant until later. And but yeah, the
clothing.
Dude, I had pink shirts. I had light blue pants.
The hair was one thing.
Oh yeah. In fact, I'll throw a shot of me while Karen's on. Maybe she'll even put it on air. Do we have time? Crap, we're running out of time. Go, keep talking, Zulu.
Got 5 minutes. Give me the.
I can do it. I can do it.
Give it here.
I'll find it.
Yeah, the hair was interesting. I mean, I had a mohawk actually the whole time, so it was nothing. Same shit. But like the big hair on the girls was interesting. The guys with the long hair mullets, the long mullet in the back.
Big hair. The higher the hair, the
That was
closer to
like-
God.
Where do you want it, Karen? Do you want it in Strange
Yeah,
World Live?
yeah. The higher the hair.
Wherever.
There we go. 1985, right? Coming at you. Let me show you what I wore. You guys, you can put this up on screen. It's almost there. We'll end
Oh,
the show.
85 actually. I still had a fro.
Yeah, there's 85 for you. Strange World Live.
Yeah. Oh shit. I just admitted I had big hair until 85.
Yeah, me rocking. What is that? I don't even know what color pants that is. That turquoise? Turquoise?
Turquoise.
They're like light
Did you ever
blue.
wear Jordache jeans?
No. No, I didn't.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, that's me with one of my good friends before she moved away to Alaska. And
You had like the yuppie
my
80s
God.
look going.
oh, I did. I was
Oh yeah. Oh, you were one of those dicks that picked on me.
No, I was the if it was an after school special nightmare, I was the guy in the background. I wasn't the lead that was torturing, but I was definitely the guy in the background laughing. And yeah, I was in a fraternity for a year, and yeah, that's me. Help. Yikes.
Yuppie.
Yep.
Nice.
Nice
How about you,
shoes.
Karen?
You like those?
What were you like?
In the 80s, well,
Oh, she was a little tight.
like I
Or
said, I
high
was like,
schoolish.
I was like pre-puberty. But then in the 90s,
Well,
that's
what
when
I
I
was
was
saying,
in
like
high school.
schoolish.
Yeah, 90s, I was
Yeah.
in high school.
Peanut, what is
And
that
I was
action
the
shot you have going
grunge
on in the
punk rock
background there?
kid.
Peanut's got
Nice.
got a
nice.
clip of something in the background. Hopefully that's not him when he was young. Is that possible? They had cameras back then?
Oh my goodness, right?
I mean, video cameras? That's awesome. But yeah, that's a
Who's
quintess-
this chick that's with you? She's got a great tan, by the way.
Her name was Becky. It is Becky, and she was a good friend of mine who moved off the island and moved up to Alaska, and she was awesome. She was she and I weren't really a couple, but she's great. She still lives in Seattle. We talk every once in a while, not very often, but she was great. We took this little shot, and yeah, that's an encapsulation of me on the beach. That's the beach house behind me, and it's like, oh wow. Yeah. So thank you, Zulu, for putting me in my place there. Yeah, I was one of those guys. It's like you look at me, it's like, oh my god.
Totally.
Yeah, douche, right? I just hate. But I wasn't that bad. Believe it or not, I wasn't that bad. I broke away from that look pretty quickly. Started doing my own thing. But yeah, when I was in university, that was me.
Well, I mean,
on
honestly,
campus.
wasn't your whole island full of like clean cut white guys? So I mean, it's not like you were so different.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, it wasn't that different. So anyway.
I mean, you didn't see a brown person to what? You were 19, I think.
Dude, that is so wrong. But yeah, it is weird to say that when I played my basketball league, it was all white. It was a completely white basketball league up here in the Northwest.
Oh my god!
A lot of Scandinavian people, a lot of tall, dorky looking white guys. All right, with that, what Zulu, you got a quote? We got to wrap the show up.
Yes.
We got
Karen, you should live. Well, and everybody actually, you should live every day like it's your birthday.
Oh, that's nice.
That's it.
Why not?
Simple.
I don't know what that means, but
Enjoy it, right?
Cool.
Things enjoy every day.
All right. Shout outs.
Oh wow. Sorry.
Shout outs. Hello.
Jan, Alex Javier. I met him at the meetup. Cool dude. Everybody in chat. Sexy hat, wifey, Linda. I think I got everybody.
All right. We will be back.
Oh, well, of course, you guys.
Yes, of course. I know. You're already saying happy birthday to Karen. All right, Karen, it's over. It's pretty much done. It's gonna be because midnight
right.
isn't
I'll
midnight.
shut the fuck
Midnight's
up.
coming up like almost like really soon.
Right now. Right
Yeah,
now.
right now. Midnight's happening, so your birthday is officially over. Okay, so next week we'll be back here, same flat time, same flat channel. Say goodnight, birthday girl.
Good night, birthday girl.
Say goodnight, Zulu.
Nice. Good night, Zulu.
And Peanuts smokes through his new backdrop / lighting / everything that's happening, all that. Yeah, that's it. So Karen, let's roll that music and hot sex.
Hot sex.
Hot birthday sex. You know what I'm saying, Ted?
Birthday sex is the best.
Yeah. Karen's cake is actually Ted with some chocolate syrup. Yeah. Wait, are we still recording?
Holy shit.
So we say we know what we thought we knew. All I thought we threw away was everything. Fought in many wars, danced our lives away. ever been. Wound up chasing stars all over again. There's words for what you got, what you have, and what you'll ever need. There's love so many nights, so many nights, so many ways to believe.
Hello, Daisy. Hello,